One man, one Murloc, one giant angry badger. This is Blue Please. It begins now.
Yes, indeed, folks. Welcome to Blue Please on WoW Radio with myself, Total Biscuit. The date today is the 31st of July, 2009. It is 8 p.m. BST. It is 3 p.m. EST. In other places, it is other times. And in other times, it may also be other places. That would be mysterious and strange, but entirely possible. This is Blue Please. What have I got coming up for you in the show today? Well, big centerpiece of the show. It's always nice to have a big centerpiece. You know, if you go to a flower arranger, they'll always tell you that you need a big centerpiece. And if you go to me, I won't tell you that because I'm not a flower arranger. In fact, I don't even really like flowers at all. But I do like fountains. And fountains are generally centerpieces to various other great things. Therefore, our centerpiece fountain for today's show... What the hell am I saying? Oh, this is a week of work. Coming down on me, pressing down on me like a giant weight from the sky, threatening to crush the living hell out of me, crush my spirit. Will it? No. Because I'm doing a radio show about a video game. How could I not be more exuberant, more jubilant, more something else-ant? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, we've got a premonition interview coming up. It's great. It's really meaty. You know, some of our interviews are kind of laid back. Some of them are really info-heavy. This one's really info-heavy. Got a 30-minute interview with two members of the guild Premonition. Those of you who are not aware, they got the US first on Firefighter, and they got the US first on Yoggster 1+0 Watchers. Yeah, the real one. Not the one by the cheating bastards. No, this is an honest guild with honest players. And the two guys who have come onto the show are Zav and Malachi, and they will be talking to me just a little bit later on about the ins and outs. Got a really good strategy for Yogg+0 exclusively for this show from the guys from Premonition. So if you are indeed attempting that, you may want to listen in. Oh yes, and they'll be talking about a lot of things. We're talking about 3.2, talking about the animosity between US and EU, raiding in general, their experiences of Ulduar, and all sorts of other good stuff. Yeah, with the raid-centric show. Yeah, we talk a lot about raiding, so that's coming up just a little bit later on in the show. Also, just in time for the show, a Q&A has been released just very, very recently, indeed less than an hour ago, by Ankylorn from the community team, and it's about the Crusaders Colosseum and the Isle of Conquest. That's going to be the rest of our show. We're just going to be chomping along at that one, because there's some great stuff in here, including a mention of not one, but two Jawmanga worms, yes.
Not one, but two Jawmanga worms.
It's terrifying. Two Jawmanga worms. Yes, I am entirely at fault for perpetuating this stupid meme. Oh, why do I do it? I have no idea, but it's funny. Everyone loves it, so it's all good. Ladies and gents, we are very rapidly approaching the end of our BlizzCon donation drive, and you guys have been incredibly generous. Unbelievably generous. We've got some great stuff coming up for you at BlizzCon. There's going to be a big article about this, like, later this week, to tell you exactly what we're doing. So, thank you very much to all of those who have donated, large and small. Very much appreciated. Those of you who do not know, tonight at midnight EST, the BlizzCon donation contest ends, and it's been a competition between Team Nubcake and Team Murloc, both of which contain different members of staff. And the loser gets pied in the face, live outside of BlizzCon in front of everyone, I might add. Yes, we will put them against the wall when the revolution comes. Pied in the face, and the video is released to donators. Anyone that donated gets to see the video. Oh yeah. It will be amusing. And I believe Dustin's promised to take like 10 pies in the face. He's just that dirty. Yes, well, whatever floats your boat, I imagine. So yeah, it's the last chance for you to donate, folks. There are two links on the front page. Chip in for Team Murloc or chip in for Team Nubcake. On the front page of WCRadio.com, it is very much appreciated. All the money goes over to buying extra equipment to make sure that we've got everything we need, as well as helping the guys out with their hotel rooms, because God, they are expensive. No two ways about that. We've got some great stuff lined up. And if you are at BlizzCon, then you will get to experience some of this cool stuff. Again, I'm not going to announce too much. Don't want to jump the gun. But we are intending to be out there with an outside broadcast, as well as all over the convention, and, of course, in our studio broadcast room, where we will be providing you various interviews and news and comment as the day goes along. Also, get a hold of one of our amazing business cards. Well, the kind of business cards, we got these amazing-looking sort of flyer/business cards made. They're top pro quality. And you'll be able to get one of those, and if you want an autograph from one of our guys, for whatever strange, crazy reason, then we will happily autograph those cards for you. So check us out at BlizzCon. You will see us all over the place in our Wire Radio shirts. We will be pretty hard to miss. Anyway, I've done that. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the drop-in everyone hates so much, it's time for this.
That sounds like it's mail time. Here's the mail.
It never fails.
It makes me want to wag my tail. When it comes,
I want to wail.
Yes, indeed, folks, it's mail time. It's the time where we read the mail. I've got quite a few interesting ones. Way too many. It's nice that you send me email. I like that. You can email themurloc@gmail.com. That is themurloc@gmail.com. And you can get involved in the show that way. As well as, of course, the illusion of choice. Yes, shattering your illusions of choice. Only here on Blue Please. You get to pick the last topic of the show. You email themurloc@gmail.com. That is themurloc@gmail.com. The best topic gets picked. I talk about it. It's awesome. You get to control me like some kind of crazed, ethereal puppeteer. Yes, that is hyperbole. Let's get on with it. Joseph Brewer has something to say. So, I will allow him to say it. He says this: well, this is my last day on WoW. Oh dear. I refuse to renew my sub. The straw that broke the camel's back was in Old War 10. We had one person sit and cry for 5 minutes how they could only do Siege Driver, and they were useless anywhere else. When asked if they'd ever tried, they said no. Apparently learning all aspects of a fight is foreign to some people. But the kicker was we had two people a little undergeared. Their abilities, though they were great, they were quick thinkers and a smart mover. However, without even giving these guys a shot to at least show their abilities, the tank and the DPS refused to move and quit the group crying that these guys sucked and needed to be replaced. Well, F them in their smelly goat arses. We got a new tank and a healer and rocked up to Hodia. These people have no faith in the person and only look at gear and achievements, and that has ruined the game for me. Okay. Now, from someone who actually quit the game a couple of months ago, may I just say, don't? Because this is actually very easy to solve. Seriously. You're doing Old War 10, right? Well, I am going to be getting back into the game quite soon, once faction transfer comes along. Because myself and Terpster are going to go form a 10-man guild. And while it's going to be kind of laid-back raiding schedule, we're going to raid hard, yeah? We're going to work hard and we're going to play hard. So the times that we're online, we're going to be like, oh yeah, focused, kick ass. It's going to be amazing. Now, we have got all sorts of gear, right? We run the gamut. The guys who I'm getting together with, and hopefully, of course, we'll be getting a couple of other people to put the guild together on as we go. Their gear runs the gamut. My gear runs the gamut. My gear's okay, but it's like, it's Nax 25 level with a bit of Old War 25. That's it. You know, I've got some best in slot, but not much. So, my gear ain't great. Now, here's the thing. I can't get, and this is something I mentioned last week, I could not get into a pug these days because pugs require you to have the epic achievement. Yes, I did just say epic. And I have the plush stash of Guzbar, which is not an item level 213 item. Yet it is really awesome and very well statted for a mage. So that's why I'm using it. And there's no upgrades to Old War, okay? So I don't have the epic achievement yet. That means that I can't go to like Nax 10 if for some stupid reason I wanted. Or I can't do freaking VOA. The loot pinata that can be done in greens. Yeah, so this is the thing, right? If you are surrounded by idiots, there is there are two things you can do. One, you can join the idiots, which is not a very good idea. Or two, you can build a kick-ass fort in the middle of the idiots. Yeah? Find yourself a nice big hill and start building a fort with great sweeping stone battlements, spikes on the walls where you can take scrub heads and put them on pikes for all to see. Cannons ballista, catapults, trebuchet, whatever you could possibly imagine. Build a concentric setup, yeah? And that fort is called a guild. And within that fort you will be safe from the ravening barbarian hordes. And indeed, you can rain down fire, oil, and death upon them. And they can do nothing about it. You see, you've just answered your own question, right? We just found a new tank and a healer and rocked it up to Hodir. Okay. Right, so are you in a guild? If you are, and these guys are bitching and whining, oh, we can't do it because he doesn't have the epic achievements. Ignoring the fact, of course, that Flame Leviathan is about as hard as playing the first level of Tetris. Possibly less difficult. I've seen people who can't beat that. The first level of Bubble Bobble, for God's sake. All of these things. If that's what they're saying in the guild, get rid of the idiots. And if you're not in a guild, make one. Look, you've just found 10 guys. But what about those 2 undergeared guys? Yeah? Are they in a guild? If not, get them. Create a 10-man guild. It's not that hard. You need like 12 players. It can't be that hard to find 12 players willing to raid in a chill-out environment. So create a guild. Don't quit the game. The content is good. Ulduar is a good instance. I've never disputed that. It's awesome. So, if you want to enjoy it, then for God's sake, go find people to enjoy it with. Do not trust the unwashed masses to provide you with enjoyment. You won't get it. These guys are morons. That's the point. That's why we hate pugs. Simple answer for you there. And indeed, here's a good one from Dominic Mason. Also known as Elementum. He's a troll shaman, resto enhancement. He says this: hello TB, I'm in a sticky situation. I would like your advice. I have been 80 for about 3 weeks and I am finding it really hard to get a raiding guild for Nax. I've been looking for one for about 2 weeks and no luck. I've been pugging, but we always fail at the good old 80% of the bosses, and I've not got any loot because of ninjas or bad ML. What do you think I should do? Is there anything I can do? Form your own. Or find someone to form it for you. Bear in mind that a lot of guilds are bound together by 2 things. The mutual desire to get epics, and the cult of personality surrounding the people leading them. So if you don't have the personality to lead 10 people, find someone that does, and set something up. There's a lot of guilds that are actually falling apart at the moment, because of the summer raiding droughts. This happens every summer. This is where people go off on holidays, do other things, though, in the middle of exams. So there's a lot of guilds falling apart, which means there are rich pickings available. There's a lot of ungilded people. That means creating a guild is not that hard. If you want to create a guild, come up with a theme. You're going to say, right, we are creating a Nax guild that's going to start from the ground up. And you know what? There is actually some appeal in that. For some people, we're creating a guild which will allow you to come and raid with us, and if you're not an idiot, we don't mind if you're undergeared and you're still learning, as long as you're willing to listen. If there isn't a guild like that you can join, then make one. Get some experienced players who are maybe just bored or whatever. Find some friends that might have retired and say, come back to the game because I've got this idea. I've got an idea whereby we have a small guild that is nice and chilled out with good players, but maybe inexperienced players, but they're willing to learn, they're willing to listen, and they're willing to put their backs into it, more importantly. Yes, that's what you need. So, if you're having problems with the pugs and you're having problems with the guilds, then do that. It's as simple as that. Forming a guild, again, not hard. Find friends. Go pug with people. Find people in pugs that don't suck, who are maybe not in a guild, and say, hey, you want to be added to my friends list? Because I want to pug with you more often. Pug with these people, then get them into a guild. Just say, hey, let's make a guild. We know we're good. We know we can do it. We can have some fun together. We gel. Simple as that. Another email here from Tristan Johnson. He says, there's a blue post that came out today. At the end of the third post, you might find a nod into your new drop-in. Yes, this is from the Q&A I'm going to be covering later on. One of the questions is, finally, and it's all too often asked, how are players really supposed to deal with...
Not one, but 2 jaw manga worms.
And the answer is, of course, that they can hotfix out one of them if things get too crazy for players. We're putting a special achievement related to this as well, so hop to it. Oh, what have I wrought? Oh, God. I mean, I think this was Blizzard kind of planning a meme to begin with. I mean, it was obvious people were going to pick up on it. I just ended up perpetuating it. I added petrol to the damn fire. And the fire was like maybe a tiny little fire in the smallest of bushes. So what do? Throw a gallon of gasoline on it. When will I ever learn? Answer, Probably never. Honestly, it's too much fun. Honestly, it is. Ladies and gentlemen, you were listening to Blue Please here on WoW Radio with myself, Total Biscuit. Gonna play some music, then we're gonna do the premonition interview, and after that, we'll be covering this brand new Q&A. Enjoy.